just gives more stability without.
I will contact associations on these complications. We'll see if there's any problem with it, an early payout on this, if we decide to pay it out. There's no penalties or anything like
I
that.
think that's a good idea.
So we'll look in that direction too also. So what we're doing here is really planning for the worst and hopefully coming out a little better in the long. So, hey, Bob, which your feelings are the 7-7? Ed, what do you feel? This isn't a vote, we're just getting your feel.
I think that our primary concern should be wedging it into our budget and seeing what we can wedge into the budget. Before we do financing, we have 2 months, 3 months. You know, if we're going to receive in the middle of January, it's the middle of October now.
So correct me if I'm wrong, what about the ordering thereof?
Well, the ordering is one thing. It doesn't cost us anything. As long as we have the resolve and agree as a board that we're going to do something that we are going to finance one way or another, we don't have to make a snap decision on our financing.
So we're not obligated to commit to funding at the time of order, at the time.
Well, we're obligated to commit to fund it,
Okay.
but how we're going to fund it, we're not obligated.
Well, can they put an order in?
Yeah.
And we figure out, because.
Yeah,
we
that's
get
what I
the
said.
discount
It's the
from-
primary concern isn't how we're going to finance it. The primary concern is that we are going to and that we fit it into the budget. That we make the commitment and we commit ourselves to making it work financially.
Will that be the referendum?
No, Judy.
No.
If
We
you
don't have to
do
make a
it,
resolution tonight?
the resolution tonight is authorizing going forward to purchase the trucks. You then have to make a decision whether you want to fund it by a lease purchase or you want to fund it by an actual bond. It sounds like the board would prefer to fund it by a lease purchase.
I'd like to see what the numbers come out as bond. Didn't you have some, I had something on bonds. I know you did. Didn't we talk about that? And it came up $20,000 less over the life of the.
But the bonds have to be renegotiated too, right? So we wouldn't
We
have.
really started looking into this lease thing, 4.5%, and then steady percentage right across the board. You want to stay with that?
I would prefer to stay with something that we know what we have.
Yeah, because we don't know what's going to happen.
We have so many variables, we don't need another one.
I think we should take a look at the fluctuation in the bond markets over the past 15 years, see how stable it's been, and see what they're offering. You know, I mean,
Part of the homework that.
yeah. Like I said, we have a long time to commit to how we're going to pay for it. It's just that we have to make sure it fits within the confines of the budget. The issues ever happen. But we're under the gun to order where we are, you know, the manufacturer spots are running low, and that's a great concern.
Well, my concern is nobody, I don't even think anyone in Washington understands what the future is going to bring. And I don't think the past, in any of these cases, is a predictor of what's going to happen in the future with what's happening to our markets and everything. So I think we'd be estimating, on in the future.
Any further discussion on this? Go to the next agenda item.
Yeah, where's Harrisville?
Not sure right now, Ted. I know I'm going up there now.
What's that?
Yeah, better find out where it is.
I'm going over to watch the bodies be built. I'm not sure where it is right now.
Field trip.
Road trip.
How come you didn't use a local guy?
Well, I'd rather not get into that.
Okay. So, all right. The trucks. Two trucks up to 400,000, is that what we're doing
That's-
on a resolution?
Yes. In that area.
Oh, we have the costs complete for right here.
Well, you have to add on the 12,000 for the stainless steel body.
Yeah, but we still have complete. Is that the? You know, as long as we have the numbers complete, then that's the number. That's all we need.
So it comes to
next item on the agenda, fireworks permit. Okay,
Permits or permit?
permits, the concept of fireworks permits. As I understand at this time, well, I have, as a segue, as you know, during the summer, we had an individual coming in asking to have a fire permit for a private display. Also, citizens in the Walker Valley end of Mamakating have offered complaints to the town and to the police and to the state and federal government because of fireworks displays that have happened on 2 different occasions on private lands. Their complaints were predicated upon disturbance, also on the danger of fire, pretty obvious why. And they've brought in the authorities on this, New York State Department of Labor, to whom falls responsibility of licensing people for varying tasks associated with pyrotechnics. There's not just one permit covers all. You can have a permit to actually detonate the displays, put the displays on. You can have a permit to store the explosive materials. So it's not one size fits all. You have to have a different permit for a different function. And these complaints were brought about and they've launched into an investigation. But as a side to the investigation is the question that's raised, does the town itself want to offer or make the availability of a fireworks permit? Now, as you remember from last summer's application and subsequent investigation, we found that there is a very, very long laundry list of things that must be accounted for and be responsible for before a permit can be issued. Now, we don't have a permit, but other townships have permits. And also, municipalities are allowed to have such displays. Municipalities also fall within the same jurisdiction as the private citizen, and they have to make sure all of the factors are in play and accounted for. It includes insurances, fire department participation, designation of zones, the whole 9 yards. So essentially that's what's on the table now.
I think it's just overregulation. I mean, you saw the licensing involved in order for him just to have that permit. And he already has to answer to the officer of jurisdiction, which would be the fire chief of that fire district, before he does anything. So, I mean, it's already in place. Why, if somebody's not following it, they're not going to follow a local permit either. If the problem is somebody's igniting, is doing this illegally, then we have no enforcement anyway for that. If they're not following the rules as set, then they're not following the rules as set. The gentleman who came before us, what was it, Colonial Fireworks?
I believe so.
He presented everything. He also presented, he had a full plan in front of him. And it involved the Bloomingburg Fire Department because it was in the Bloomingburg Fire District.
All right, so what you're recommending is that we
And
do it on a
you have-
case-by-case basis before the
You
town
have-
board.
No, he didn't even have to come to us, is the point I'm making.
Because we didn't have.
He came to us out of courtesy.
Yeah.
We don't have any authority over that whatsoever.
Well, you could
He
have.
came to us out of courtesy, and the reason he did not have the display was because the board voted, what was it, 3-2, to say no, because, understandably, everybody was still a little bit jumpy after the mountain